Hi, welcome or welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is a little vulnerable for me. I'm going to talk about a work situation, some memories from high school, some trauma that I have, and also a little bit about pop culture. And you'll probably wonder, what does my life and pop culture have to do with anything? If you've seen the recent finale of The Bachelorette Gen Tran season, we'll talk all about that. What comes to mind is a sense of belonging. And I think that it really ties into some of the feelings I've been feeling quite recently. If you followed my story, you know that I was burned out. I actually went on a leave of absence from my work and I was out for a number of weeks. During that time period, only less than a handful of people reached out to me from work. I don't expect anyone to, but what was really hurtful was quite recently we had another team member within the department, not within my specific department, but within the overall department, someone else went on leave and we got an email and it asked for contributions for this person and to tell that person we're thinking of them. And it really made me sad because actually no one from my department actually reached out to me to see I was okay. And you might be saying, okay, well, that's okay, they couldn't reach me. Yeah, okay, I'm on LinkedIn. A few of them have my personal cell phone number. It was really hurtful because I'm not a petty person. I did contribute and I like this person, so I want them to get better too. It was really hard for me because I have been feeling really left out and just on my own island for the longest time, and that really solidified the fact that I felt that certain way. The people who even reached out to me when I was on my leave, and it was a number of weeks, okay, let's just say that, and no one from my department, even my specific team, reached out to me. That was really hard. I actually broke out in tears because it probably triggered a memory that I had, and I was talking to my therapist about that and the feeling of not belonging. And I've struggled a lot with this throughout my childhood. A huge core memory I had from high school, and the reason why high school is even brought up is our reunions coming up, and one of my friends asked me if I was going. Actually, two people reached out to me about asking me if I was going to the reunion, and it kind of triggered some of the memories I had with bullying. A group of girls, I think it may have been my sophomore year of high school, maybe freshman year, I can't remember quite specifically the details, but early on in my high school experience, for some unknown reason, there were a group of girls who had a problem with me, and one of them wanted to fight me. Quite interestingly, that person actually got kicked out of the school. It was just very difficult because I felt so harassed, and actually one of them came into my class and kicked my chair, like basically trying to intimidate me, I guess. And then I was walking in the hallway and another one tried to push me. It's really sad because I did not feel safe. I'm just so upset that school is a place that you should feel safe at. And I did not feel safe. I had such a terrible time. On top of this, I had a family member who said to me that they wished that I wasn't related to them, even though none of this was my fault. Those two individuals actually, I think both of them were kicked out of the school, which, surprise, surprise, right? Not surprising. It's so hard because actually one of them, maybe they have no introspection because they try to add me on social media, like, no, I don't want to be your friend. You were really mean to me and you bullied me. No, that was hard. And bringing it back to that work situation, I was telling my partner that it's not about missing out. Like, I don't need the money, but it's really the thought. I think even a card or an email or a text message saying, hope you're doing well. And my therapist did say maybe they learned from, your situation. And maybe they did, but it was definitely really hurtful. Feeling like we belong, I think that is just a human need. And I'm getting really emotional talking about this because I thought that this was a great place to work. And the people who did reach out to me, I appreciate them. I value those relationships. For those who just went on their lives, that's okay too. I don't hold it against anyone. Definitely it is hurtful because it doesn't take a lot, and maybe it's because I thought I had good relationships with people. I guess not. I tried my best to be a good person, so I will never compromise who I am. I would never compromise being kind. That's the work situation. It's not about being greedy. It's just that it's very interesting that what was done for one person was not for another person, and it can be very hurtful and excluded. Going back to the very random thought I had earlier about pop culture. If you have not watched the recent season of The Bachelorette, reality TV is definitely not for everyone, but this was actually the first season that we had an Asian American lead. Let's just say in a few words, it was a dumpster fire. For the longest time, as an Asian American, I don't see a lot of people like myself on TV. For once, we had a lead of Asian descent. The way her whole season happened, I think, was just such a disappointment, I will say. The cast that she had, they didn't really vet it, in our opinion anyways. There was lots of interesting things that came out from some of the cast members, and the way they decided to choose to air the finale was a choice. What essentially happened was when Jen Tran was announced as the Bachelorette, everyone was surprised. And the way this franchise, this way the show works is that typically they'll have the Bachelor show, and that's a male lead, and they may typically choose the female lead for the Bachelorette based on the Bachelor season. Of course, it's reality TV, right? So it's not 100% like authentic because you have producers, you know, it's entertainment. What the producers decide to show, that's what the audience sees. And what happened was they made the audience feel like Jen wasn't even an option. She was shown but barely shown. There were other contestants who were white, and they were shown much more in a really positive light. So there were Maria, and there was also Daisy. Honestly, everyone expected, and this is really sad, but based on what they decided to air, everyone really expected Daisy or Maria to be the leads. When it came out that Jen was the Bachelorette, people were shocked. Not surprised, because they didn't really show her personality, her story too much with the previous Bachelor, Joey. But let's pause there. Okay, that happened. So people were expecting Maria or Daisy, but what's sad is during the actual episodes, one of her contestants actually mentioned this to Jen, and that was like a what the heck moment. Then during the actual finale is where it gets worse. So what happened was, unfortunately, the person who Jen chose decided to break up with her over a 15-minute call. Of course, that's her side, but he did not refute it, so it sounds like it was true. Typically, the season finale is where they would show all the footage and then have the lead come in and talk at the end. Newsflash, they didn't do it this time. Instead, you know what they did? They showed the episode and then paused it before the proposal. Okay, sorry, premise of the show is you get engaged. Before the proposal, they decided to pause, bring Jen out to address what happened because they broke up, and then they brought her winner out, Devin. They decided it was a great idea to have Devin and Jen watch the proposal together as Jen is in tears and crying. And it was so gut-wrenching that a lot of people from the Bachelor Nation was like, what the heck is going on? A lot of people were saying, is this like a Black Mirror episode? Because it was very uncomfortable, and I honestly couldn't watch the proposal. It was just that hard. It gets back to the sense of belonging. As a minority in America, we already feel a little bit like we're not accepted. And I've had some personal situations where people even said to me, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from so-and-so city. And they're like, oh, no, where are you actually from? It's just the way they decided to air this finale just felt like they wanted to show the world that Jen, who cares about her feelings, right? She can cry on national TV. And what made it worse was the host, Jesse, asked Jen, are you ready to watch this? And she goes, do I have a choice? Like, that was sad. Going back to the sense of belonging, I think it's so important to feel like we're part of a community, because I think it's a human emotion. We crave to be part of something. When we don't get it, we just don't feel connected, which is not surprising. Like, we want to be part of something. We want to be motivated, right? I know I've talked a lot of words, but I guess what I want to say is these are some of the feelings I've had recently. I am working through them. If you are also feeling excluded and you're missing that community, I hope that my videos bring you some comfort. I hope that you will find your community. I'm still working through it, but I do want to record this because these are some raw emotions that I have, and I really think my videos are a way for me to both heal, process my emotions, but also I'm hoping to share this with somebody, and hopefully it reaches more hearts because you're not alone. If you are feeling excluded in any way, not if you feel like you don't belong, I hope this is a place on my channel that you feel like you're part of something, because you are. And I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving me thumbs ups. I really do appreciate it. I actually watched a few of my videos yesterday because I was going through some emotions, and it really helped me, and I'm so grateful that I have 98 subscribers. I really am grateful, and I want to continue growing. So please, if you have any comments, please leave them below. If you want to hear about anything, please drop it into the comments and I'll take a look at that. Thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate you, and I'll see you next time, okay? Thank you so much again. Bye.